So guys, we are approaching the anniversary of the death of two students who we love so dearly here at Cornerstone Youth, Christian and also Alex. Abby, I know you were a great friend to Alex, but specifically you actually had an unusual way of becoming a really deep friend of Alex's, so why don't you even tell me about that?
Yeah, Alex struggled with mental health a lot in the last few years of his life, and it was actually amidst that his parents reached out to us and my friend group to, just really love on him. We took that as a call just to wrap our arms around Alex and just love him the way that we just felt like Jesus would love him.
Yeah, so September 28th was the day that you received the call about Alex, so why don't you tell me a little bit about the day?
Yeah, so I got a call from my friends that Alex took his own life, and that's a call that you just can't ever imagine getting, and those moments were so incredibly hard and so incredibly deep sorrow, but God was so near to us. 3 of my 4 friends were hanging out the next day, and it was the first time that we realized Alex wasn't with us. And we walked over to his parents' house, and on that walk, we just realized we are grieving our friend. We are grieving the loss of our friend. And I opened the door to his house and greeted his dad and gave him a big hug. And as I hugged him, I just fell to the ground because I realized how hard it is to lose a friend, and just realized the pain not I'm only feeling, but the pain his family is feeling. And very touching moment that day was when we were in his room. We saw sticky notes just hung up all across his room that we actually put there a while ago from peers and us of just encouragement. And
it's amazing how we go through grief, but Jesus will often comfort us through other people. And so what a beautiful moment. So Aaron, you got to know Christian a little differently. You were his coach, you were his teacher, you were his friend, you were his small group leader. So why don't you tell me a little bit about Christian?
Yeah, man, I met Christian in 2017 when I started leading a small group, which would have been during his 7th grade year. And he was just one of those kids that when you first meet him, he just attracts everybody in the room. He was the magnet of the room. He would go over and find all of the students that were kind of out by themselves, and he would invite them into games. Over the years, Christian invited dozens of different people into Cornerstone Youth because he loved it so much and he wanted people to have what he experienced at Cornerstone Youth. And that was just a relationship with Jesus. And
so October 10th, that was a very rough day for you. Why don't you tell me about the day you got the call?
Yeah, so it was, October 10th, like you said. And I remember getting a call at about 11:50. They just say, Aaron, we've got some bad news. Christian's mom wanted to let you know that he passed away on his way to school this morning in a car accident. And I just remember feeling really, really numb for the rest of that day. But one thing that I think God was just so gracious in was that Monday night that he had passed away. We just had a visual out on the football field, and we had students from Roland Story and Ames and Nevada and Collins Maxwell and Colonesco showing up, all because one person, Christian, had just loved people so well.
Even with his friends, as much fun he had with them, he was mainly concerned that they would know Jesus as well. And so he brought 4 friends to youth group the Wednesday before he passed for the very first time. Those 4 friends invited quite a few other friends to come out that Wednesday, and about 20 of them gave their life to Christ. And so what Christian had hoped for his friends, we saw that happen even in the midst of the tragedy. As hard as that was, they received the gospel.
Yeah, dude, the gospel connections that we just experienced throughout the year were so amazing. Just like God was so good to us in giving us people that experienced the same thing, and we could just walk through life together knowing that some days were gonna be really hard. Actually, a week ago, students were at Colonesco celebrating Christian's birthday, and they actually just broke out into a time of prayer. And to me, that's just a powerful reminder of just Christian's legacy, that he loved Jesus, and now people are experiencing the love of Jesus because of his life.
Yeah, and I think it actually gives me a lot of hope because we see God's work continuing even a year later in Christians' memory being carried on, which tells us that we have hope in the resurrection of Jesus Christ, that one day those students and Christian will be united in heaven, and what an incredible hope that is. The same with Alex. He gave his life to Jesus, and we are so grateful for that he loved Jesus and his friends loved Jesus as well, but one day we will be united. And so we have a hope here now as we continue gospel ministry and as we carry on these gospel friendships, but we have an ultimate hope in Jesus Christ as we will all be resurrected with Alex and Christian.